What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Sean O'Malley believes a rematch with Petr Yan would be the biggest fight in the bantamweight division right now. O'Malley shared his thoughts while preparing for his upcoming fight against Song Dong at UFC 324, and he made it clear that his focus goes beyond just one win. O'Malley explained that if Merab had won his last fight and he goes out and beats Song, he would not immediately be chasing a title shot. He admitted he would probably need one more fight after that. However, when it comes to big matchups, he feels a second fight with Petr Yan stands above everything else. O'Malley reminded everyone that he is officially 1-0 against Yan, and made a point to highlight a moment many fans overlook. He said he took Yan down at the end of the first round in their first fight, calling it a clean and beautiful takedown. According to O'Malley, it was not counted properly, and no one ever talks about it, despite how well it was executed. He acknowledged that there are plenty of fun fights in the division. He mentioned Umar versus Petr Yan as a matchup that makes sense, and said he would not be upset if that fight happens. O'Malley admitted it would be a sweet and competitive fight for fans to watch. Still, O'Malley believes his own path is clear. He said if he goes out and finishes Song, the fight to make is him versus Petr Yan. In his view, a rematch between them for the belt at the White House would be massive. He said he does not understand what other fight could possibly be bigger in the bantamweight division right now. While he respects other contenders and big matchups, O'Malley firmly believes that his rematch with Petr Yan carries more weight, more history, and more excitement than any other option. In his eyes, there is simply no bigger fight to make at bantamweight. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news, Paddy Pimblett has responded after Nate Diaz mentioned him as a possible next opponent. In a recent clip, Diaz was asked who he wants to fight next, and he casually pointed toward Paddy, saying he was looking at him as an option. The moment quickly picked up attention online, with fans reacting to the unexpected callout and the relaxed way Diaz delivered it. The video continued with Diaz joking around, talking about going to a party and putting his money on Paul, adding that someone might get knocked out, but brushing it off with his usual laid-back attitude. The clip spread fast across social media, sparking debate about whether a fight between Diaz and Paddy could actually happen. Paddy later responded directly in the comments, keeping it short and playful. He dropped a gif of himself giving a double thumbs up, signaling he noticed the call-out and was clearly amused by it. The response stayed true to Paddy's personality and kept fans talking about what could come next. Moving on to another news. Details are emerging about Alexandre Pantoja's injury, and it may be more serious than first believed. On a recent episode of Pound for Pound with Henry Cejudo and Kamaru Usman, Cejudo revealed that Pantoja's elbow dislocation is tied to an old injury from a motorcycle crash. According to Cejudo, it is the same arm Pantoja injured years ago, and the problem has lingered far longer than many fans realized. Cejudo explained that he has known Pantoja for nearly a decade and has seen him deal with elbow issues throughout that time. He said Pantoja was involved in a motorcycle accident in the past, and since then, that elbow has never been completely right. Cejudo emphasized that a dislocation on top of a previous injury can place a serious burden on a fighter's career, especially in a demanding division like Flyweight. Cejudo also spoke more broadly about the state of the 125-pound division. He said the belt could change hands frequently because of how competitive the division has become. He pointed out that several fighters are being overlooked and believes Flyweight could turn into one of the most competitive divisions in the UFC, particularly given the injuries and constant movement at the top. If Pantoja is dealing with recurring elbow damage from an old fracture rather than a simple dislocation, the situation becomes much more concerning. Repeated trauma to the same joint can significantly affect recovery time and long-term performance, especially for a champion who relies heavily on grappling and control. Pantoja's coach later addressed the situation in an interview with MMA Fighting, confirming that the UFC is interested in an immediate rematch and providing an update on the injury. He said they received good news from the doctor, confirming that nothing is broken. However, it is still unclear whether surgery will be required or if physical therapy alone will be enough. The coach clarified that there is nothing wrong with the shoulder and that the injury is strictly to the elbow. He stressed that Pantoja's recovery is the top priority. If surgery is needed, they will move forward with it. If physical therapy is sufficient, that will be the plan. They are waiting over the next few weeks to see how the elbow responds before making any final decisions. As for the rematch, the timeline will depend entirely on how long Pantoja is sidelined. If the recovery period is reasonable, they are open to an immediate rematch. If it takes longer, they understand the division cannot remain on hold. Regardless of the timing, the goal is for Pantoja to return already fighting for the belt. Moving on to another news, Sean O'Malley and Demetrious Johnson have shared a surprising take on a potential boxing matchup between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. Speaking on Demetrious Johnson's YouTube channel, both O'Malley and Johnson said they believe Jake Paul could actually knock out Joshua under the right circumstances. Johnson explained that he thinks Jake Paul takes boxing seriously and has developed real power. He went on record saying that if Joshua chooses to stand in front of Jake and trade shots, there is a real possibility he gets caught. Johnson pointed out that Anthony Joshua has been knocked out before by shots people did not expect, referencing losses where short, well-timed punches ended the fight. He emphasized that boxing is a sport where anyone always has a puncher's chance, which is exactly why fights like this draw so much attention. According to Johnson, Jake Paul is capable of landing a clean shot, and that alone makes the fight dangerous if Joshua is careless. Johnson also broke down the path Joshua would need to take to dominate. He said Joshua should be on his feet, using movement, range, and clean boxing fundamentals. By staying light, touching the body, making Jake miss, and avoiding prolonged exchanges, Joshua could completely dismantle him. However, Johnson admitted he does not see Joshua fighting that way. Instead, he believes Joshua would likely try to prove a point by standing his ground and trading punches. Johnson acknowledged his own limitations as a boxing expert, but still stood firm in his belief that Jake Paul has a real chance to score a knockout if that scenario plays out. Sean O'Malley strongly agreed with the assessment. He said that if Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua meet in the center of the ring and exchange shots, Jake's power becomes a serious factor. O'Malley noted that Jake has already proven he can knock people out, and that power always carries over, even against larger opponents. Both agreed that while Joshua has the tools to win decisively, the danger lies in his willingness to trade. If pride takes over and the fight turns into a slugfest, they believe Jake Paul could shock the world. Moving on to another news. Daniel Cormier and Chael Sonnen have come out to defend Merab following his loss last weekend at UFC 323. After the fight, Aljamain Sterling revealed that Merab did not get the warm-up he was expecting before stepping into the cage. According to Sterling, the issue came from an unexpected injury involving Alexandre Pantoja that happened very early on the card, something Merab's team had not planned for. The timing of the earlier fights changed rapidly, which forced Merab to head out much sooner than anticipated. Sterling explained that the team expected to begin warming up once a certain fight ended, but the card did not unfold the way they had prepared for. As a result, Merab was unable to complete his usual routine before walking out. Daniel Cormier and Chael Sonnen both addressed the situation and pushed back against fans dismissing the explanation. Cormier said that not getting a proper warm-up can have a major impact on a fighter, not just physically, but mentally as well. He emphasized that preparation is about rhythm, timing, and emotional readiness, all of which can be disrupted when plans suddenly change. Chael echoed that point and added context from the world of boxing. He pointed out that some legendary fighters, including Mike Tyson, used to include clauses in their contracts specifying the exact time they would leave the locker room. This was done to ensure they would never be rushed, regardless of what happened in earlier fights. Chael explained that champions often protect their warm-up window for this exact reason, because once it is compromised, performance can suffer. Cormier agreed, saying that fans often underestimate how important these details are. He noted that fighters prepare their bodies and minds down to the minute, and when that structure is disrupted, it can throw everything off. Even small changes can affect breathing, movement, and emotional balance heading into a fight. The discussion highlighted how behind-the-scenes factors can play a bigger role than people realize. While the loss still stands, Cormier and Chael made it clear they believe the circumstances surrounding Merab's preparation mattered more than most fans are willing to admit. Later on, speaking of Daniel Cormier, he also shared a clip showing himself training at AKA in Thailand, staying active and connected to the sport even after retirement. Moving on to another news. Jamahal Hill has gone off on Ariel Helwani following Helwani's reaction video about Hill's recent altercation with Joanna Jędrzejczyk earlier this week. Ariel uploaded a video to his YouTube channel where he discussed the situation with a few friends. While Ariel himself did not say much about the incident, Hill felt the overall tone came across as disingenuous. During the discussion, Ariel admitted he only watched around 30 seconds of Hill's original video before moving on. He openly said he did not fully know what was going on and had not done proper research on the situation. The conversation quickly turned into light internet banter, with jokes about Joaquin Buckley weighing in and comments about how situations like this often become easy online content. Ariel even joked about what the YouTube title would be, mentioning Jamahal Hill, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, and himself, while admitting he had not really offered any serious insight. That approach did not sit well with Hill. Jamahal later responded on his own YouTube channel and strongly criticized Ariel, calling him a snake and labeling his behavior unprofessional. Hill explained that this is exactly why he does not deal with Ariel Helwani or his platform. He accused Ariel of being fake, disingenuous, and snake-like, despite constantly presenting himself as a real journalist. Hill pointed out that Ariel openly admitted in the clip that he did not watch the full video and did not research the topic at all. Despite that, Ariel still chose to bring it onto his platform and discuss it in a way Hill felt painted him in a negative light. Hill said that if Ariel was not willing to do the work, understand the context, or research the situation properly, then he should not have spoken on it at all. According to Hill, journalism comes with responsibility, and throwing half-baked opinions to millions of viewers without understanding the full story is careless. He emphasized that discussing a situation without facts, preparation, or context is unprofessional and misleading. Hill made it clear that he felt disrespected by the way the situation was handled and used as content. The response added more fuel to the ongoing tension between fighters and media personalities, highlighting the growing frustration athletes feel when they believe narratives are shaped without proper effort or accountability. Moving on to another news, Petr Yan has fired back at Merab. Yan responded after Merab went off on him across social media earlier this week. Following their fight at UFC 323, the two initially shared what looked like a friendly exchange online. A day later, Yan explained in an interview that those posts were actually written by his manager, not him. That comment set Merab off, with Merab accusing Yan of lying and trying to hide behind someone else. Yan responded today, clearing the air and pushing back hard. He said his manager, Sad, never writes anything without his approval. According to Yan, Sad sends him everything the other fighter says, and they work out a response together. Yan added that Sad often tries to soften the wording and sometimes leaves parts out during translation, so Yan does not get overly emotional. Yan admitted he actually argues with Sad about that, because he wants to know exactly what was said, word for word. Yan went on to say that after the fight, nobody should expect them to suddenly become friends. He felt Merab talked too much nonsense and twisted the situation. Yan closed by saying he does not understand what Merab wants, and made it clear that he stands by everything he said. The response shows Yan is not backing down, keeping the rivalry alive and very real, as tensions continue to build between the two fighters following their latest clash inside the octagon. Emotions remain high, respect is thin, and the story continues. Moving on to another news, Joe Rogan has shared his thoughts on Khamzat potentially moving up to light heavyweight in the future. Khamzat recently said he plans to defend the middleweight title once and then make the jump to 205 pounds. Those comments sparked a lot of discussion, and Rogan addressed the idea on a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience. Rogan said he believes Khamzat can make the move if he approaches it the right way. According to Rogan, time will be a major factor. He explained that Khamzat would need to take his time, add the right kind of weight, and let his body properly adjust. Rogan pointed out that Khamzat is already tall and has a frame that could support more mass if the transition is done patiently. Rogan also focused heavily on Khamzat's grappling and wrestling, which he believes would still translate at light heavyweight. He talked about the gaps that often exist between elite wrestlers and fighters who are primarily strikers. Even when someone is a solid grappler or a good jiu-jitsu fighter, Rogan said there are clear levels to the game. He explained that when a truly dominant grappler faces someone who is mainly a striker, the difference can be overwhelming. Rogan emphasized that fighters dealing with someone like Khamzat need an extremely high level of wrestling just to survive. In his words, you almost need Olympic caliber wrestling to be able to consistently compete with that kind of pressure and control. Rogan added that Khamzat's style creates problems across weight classes because of how aggressive and relentless he is once he gets his hands on an opponent. If Khamzat continues to develop, gains strength properly, and remains disciplined, Rogan sees no reason why a move to light heavyweight could not work. The comments only add more intrigue to what could be a massive shift in Khamzat's future. Moving on to another news, Brandon Moreno is wasting no time getting back into action after his TKO loss to Tatsuro Taira at UFC 323. Moreno is set to make a quick turnaround and has already booked his next fight. He will face Asu Almabayev at UFC Mexico on February 28th, putting himself right back into a high-stakes flyweight matchup. The booking shows Moreno's confidence and willingness to stay active, even after a tough setback. Fighting in Mexico also adds extra pressure and motivation, as Moreno is one of the country's biggest stars and always feeds off the crowd. Almabayev enters the fight riding a strong 8-fight winning streak and continues to build momentum in the division. In his most recent outing, he secured a third-round submission win over Alex Perez back in November. With contrasting styles and plenty on the line, this matchup could have major implications for the flyweight rankings.